Hello, my name is Andreas Kriburz and I'd like to show you the canvas function in OCAD. First we have a look why was the canvas function developed, and then how does the canvas function work, and then at the end we have a live demo in OCAD where I show you two practical examples. So why was the canvas function developed? Today, competition often require different map scales and print extents adapted to the paper format. For sprint races, for example, we have map scale 1 to 4000 and 1 to 3000. For forest events, we have map scale 1 to 15,000, 10,000 and even 7,500. So we have different map scales, and then we have also different print extents. For example, we do not want to print all courses on a very big map. We want to print them only on an A4 paper because it's easier to print on A4 paper. Your printer probably do not support A3 printing, and then it's also cheaper to print A4, and it's of course easier to handle for the runners. And depending now on the scale and the print extent, the map elements such as contour descriptions or course titles, they must be now positioned differently, and that's where the canvas function comes in. So with the canvas function, various map layouts and scales can be managed in one single course setting project, and the print PDFs can be exported with one single click. This reduces the time required and potential sources of errors, especially if you need to make last-minute changes to your map and courses, as it is often the case. Now, how does the canvas function work? Typically, let's say for simple course setting, you have a course setting file, and then you have a map file, and this map file also includes the layout. You do not only have the map, but you also have, for example, a border and the scale and a north arrow and some other layout objects such as logos. Now for the canvas function, you have to split the map file and the layout files. You still have one single course setting file and one single map file, but in between you have one or several layout files. Let's have a closer look to the map file. The map file in this example 1 to 10,000 is what you call the orienteering map. And the map file should not contain any layout objects such as logos, texts, etc. if you want to use it for the canvas function. And now if any map corrections need to be done, you must make them in this file only. Then let's go on with the layout files. So you can have one or several layout files. It's also scale 1 to 10,000 for all three files, even if you create a layout for scale 1 to 15,000 or 1 to 7,500. It's always the same scale as the map file and the course setting file. And now in each layout file you create a layout according to its export scale and page orientation. So you can add the frame, logos, text, north arrows and so on. And important also, the layout file does not contain any background maps. So you can open a background map to place the layout properly, but then you have to remove it again. And also the layout files, they do not contain any course setting objects. How to create a layout file is not topic in this video, but you can go to the OCAD wiki, and then you see on the main page, you see a link how to create a layout in OCAD. Last but not least, the course setting file. The course setting file has also scale 1 to 10,000 as the map file and the layout files. And the course setting file has now loaded all 3 layout files and the map file as background map. And you have to make sure that the map file is below the layout files in the list. You see here the list from the background maps, and in this examples there are 3 different layout files and below the map file. And if you get now a new map file from the map maker, you can just remove this map file and replace it with the new one. And of course, in the course setting file you also set the courses and you manage the canvas function. That's enough for the introduction. Now let's switch to OCAD, and there I show you 2 practical examples. The first example is a small competition with about 200-300 runners, and there I had 1 map file, only 1 layout file and the course setting file. Let's have a look at the different files. That's the map file, and you see it only contains the map with no layout objects. And then we have a look at the layout file. That's the layout file, and here, as I mentioned before, I can open the map file and you see that the layout file has been adapted to the map file. So I remove it again, the map file, and then in the end let's have a look at the course setting file. For this competition I created different courses A to O, and then I created classes and assigned the classes to the courses. And I used the canvas function to display the control description in text format and symbol format, and also to show and hide an additional symbol. For most of the courses, most of the courses they use a simple text control description, but then I also have a course for the beginners, for men and women 12, and they had a text control description. And then I have also the beginner course. It has also a text control description, and as you see there is also a marked route that shows the route the runners shall run. And now this additional symbol and the control description, I managed it in the canvas. For that I can open the canvas function, and you see in the first section you can create different canvases. So I have 4 different canvases. I have a canvas for the symbol control description, I have a canvas for all controls, then I have a canvas for text control description and a canvas for text control description for the beginner's course. So different canvases. You can also create a new one here and rename it or delete it again. So it's quite easy. And then for each canvas you have different settings here to the right. First of all, you have the export scale. In this example I export all the courses with the same scale and the same layout, so it's 1 to 10,000. And then you have the exported extent. As I said, it's the same extent for all the courses. You can define it here. That's my extent. I can also shift or change the extent. I can give it a new name. And then I have it in the list here. And I can switch from one extent to the other. And then I can choose this Exportbereich 10,000 as I did before. Next, you can choose the content description box size, and that's for most of the canvas it's 6 millimeters, but then I have defined the canvas all controls where I have chosen only 5 millimeters. That's because not with 6 millimeters, not all controls would have had enough place on a A4 paper, so that's why I reused it here for all controls. And then below here you see all courses and classes listed. You can choose in the settings whether you'd like to export courses or classes. So I choose courses, and now it shows me all the courses. And now I can assign the courses to the canvases. So I have the canvas with the symbol control description, and you see most of the courses are assigned to this canvas. Then the courses or the all controls are assigned to the canvas named all controls. Then I have the course N, it's assigned to this canvas, and the beginner's course is assigned to the last canvas. If no canvas is assigned to a course, then it appears yellow. And if I assign a course to more than one canvas, it is red. So now the course N is assigned to both canvases, this one and this one. And if everything is green, then each course is assigned to one canvas. Then let's go to the usage section. There you can predefine symbols and background maps that we use later in the visibility section. You see here in the lower left, you see all available symbols, and this list is the same as it contains all the symbols that are listed up here in the symbol box. And now you can drag symbols up or down. And the same is true with the background maps. So all available background maps are listed here, and I can move them up or down again. And you see I moved 3 different control description symbols up here and one special root symbol which I created before. And maybe you ask now, why are there 3 different course control description symbols? I have here created 3 symbols. So one symbol already existed, and then I duplicated the symbol. So we can right click on the symbol and say duplicate, and then you get a new one, and then you can edit this symbol. So I created now 3 different course control description symbols. I can set all visible, and now I have defined them differently or named them differently. That's control description symbol, control description for all controls, and control description text. And you see that also here. If I click on this object here in the drawing window, that's drawn with this symbol here, and it's a symbol control description. Then I have an object for the control description for all the controls. It's also symbol control description. And then I have the last one for the text control description, and it is defined accordingly. So I have 3 different symbols, and for each symbol I have placed an object at a different position. And then I have also created this special root symbol which I use for the beginner's course. Let's go back to the canvas function, to the usage tab, and you see I have all these 3 control description symbols. I have pre-selected them, and also the root symbol. I do not need the layout and the map file, as I said before, as I only export in one extent and in one export scale. Then let's go to the visibility section. There again I have all the canvases listed here, and now you see here there are my symbols which I have pre-selected before, and you see that this pre-selection makes sense to have a better overview now in this section. And now it's quite easy. You can select a canvas here, and then you can choose whether the symbols are visible in this canvas or not. So for the canvas, which is named control description symbol, I have now the objects with the symbol control description symbol. They are now visible. If I double click, they are hidden. If I double click again, they are visible. And then for all controls, I have of course the object with the symbol control description, all symbols visible, and also accordingly to the canvas name men, women 12, I have the control description text. And for the beginners, or for the canvas for the beginners course, men, women 10, I have not only the control description text symbol visible, but also this root symbol. Then in the next section is the possibility to export the PDFs, but before you do so, maybe let's have a quick check again and preview the courses. So I preview the all control course, or the all controls, and you see that the controls description here is placed at a different place than, for example, for the course A, and that the control description is also a bit smaller. And then for most courses it's the same, but then for the course men, women 12 we switch to the text control description, and for the beginners course it's still the text control description and this special root symbol that is shown. Then in the canvas function we go again to the PDF export, and now we can click on export, and it asks me also to define the raster resolution for the layout images. So I have some logos embedded here in the layout files, and then it creates me all the PDFs, and you see that's quite easy, just one single click, and it also is quite fast, the export. Then I close it, and I have a look at the PDFs, and I take from each canvas, I will see one. Once again, this is course men, women 12 with text control description. Then we have the beginners course, text control description and the root symbol. We have the all controls with a different placement of the control description, and it's smaller, the symbol description, than for most of the other courses. So you see, in this example, I use the canvas function to switch between text and symbol control description, and also to place them at different places. The second example is from a bigger competition with about 1000 participants, and for that competition we had to export the classes in 3 different scales: 1 to 15,000, 1 to 10,000 and 1 to 7,500. You see there is also one map file, and then there are 3 layout files in scale. For each scale we created one layout file in A3 landscape format, and then we have one course setting file. The map is quite big, was quite big for this event, and then we created the 3 layout files, and as we said before, the layout files, they do not include the map file. We can check the map, or we can load the map file, of course, as background map to see how it looks like, but be sure to remove the map file again when you use the canvas function. Then let's have a look at the core setting project. For this competition, there has also been a lot of courses defined. You see them here, and then there have also been a lot of classes defined and assigned to the different courses. Now let's preview the result. You see that some courses, they use the 15,000 layout, and some courses they use the 10,000 layout, and some courses they use the 7,500 layout. So we'll see how this is done now in the canvas function. I again go to the canvas function, the core setting menu, and there you see I have defined 3 different canvases for this event: 15,000, 10,000 and 7,500. And also the export scales are according to the canvas name. So for the canvas 15,000 I have export scale 1 to 15,000, 1 to 10,000 export scale 1 to 10,000, and for the canvas 7,500 I have the export scale 7,500. And the extents are defined accordingly. So for all extents it's A3 landscape format, as you see, and here I can switch between the different extents, so it's 15,000, 10,000 and 7,500. Then the contour description box size is in this example always 5 millimeters, and what you see here are not the courses in this case but classes. So in the settings here I choose classes this time and not courses. Then in the usage settings, or the usage section, I have also my symbols predefined here. So beside the contour description symbols, this time I also place the course title at a different place. And compared to the first example, I now also have the 3 layout files here predefined, which we want to use later on in the visibility section. Maybe let's go to the background map menu, manage, and you see here I have loaded all the 3 layout files I have shown you before, and I have also loaded the map file. And as we saw in the introduction, the map file has to be placed below the layout files. Here in the symbol box you see also my symbols, which I have duplicated and changed. Let's have a look at the course contour description symbols. So it's a contour description symbol for 15,000, 10,000 and 7,500, and I have here for each symbol 1 object. So that's the object for the 15,000 contour description, the object for the 10,000 and the object for the 7,500 contour description. And it's the same with the course title. You see there are 3 different course title symbols, and for each symbol I have placed one object here in the drawing area. And you see also that the font size is different for each symbol. Let's go back to the canvas function. So that was the usage section. I'd like to control the control description and course title symbols in the next section, and also these 3 layout maps. In the visibility section I have again these 3 canvases, 15,000, 10,000, 7,500, and now I have the control description and course title symbols and the background maps that are listed here. And you see for the 15,000 canvas I set the symbol for the control description 15,000 and the course title 15,000, and of course the layout 15,000 visible, and it's the same with the 10,000 and the 7,500. And then before I go to the PDF export, I again can check some courses, no classes. And I see that it's working fine. Then next would be to export the PDFs again, and that's what I have done before. And there are all my PDFs, and now I choose one PDF for each export scale, and I open them, and I can check if everything is fine. So that's a PDF for the canvas 1 to 15,000. That's a PDF for the canvas 1 to 7,500, and for the canvas 10,000. So also this looks fine. And now we are at the end of this video. I hope you got an insight into the canvas function in OCAD, what it can do, and you can work with it by yourself now. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.